Good morning, and how are we today? And it is let it go and let it grow. And what are we letting go of today? And that is 8 of Cups energy from the Raven Dream Tarot. Cups is emotion, intuition, relationships, and healing of the heart. And the 6 of Wands is what we're letting grow today. And this is passion, courage, confidence, action, and spiritual fire. The water signs today for this cup card is Cancer, Leo, and Scorpio. And the 8 of Cups is Saturn and Pisces. And the 6 of Wands today is a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this is Jupiter in Leo. So there's a beautiful movement in today's cards. We are reading from Saturn to Jupiter and from water to fire. Saturn is asking us to recognize what has reached its limit, and Jupiter is asking us to expand into what is possible. The 8 of Cups is walking away from what no longer is fulfilling the heart, and the 6 of Wands comes behind it and turns that towards confidence, progress, and what is the possibilities of success awaiting for us. Sometimes we can't fully step away from what we want to, but we have that hope that there is something waiting in the shadows for us today. So Saturn in Pisces is the 8 of Cups. We are releasing what no longer brings meaning and emotional fulfillment to us. So this is walking away from that which no longer serves. It's finding that pace with ourselves, coming to the realization that we know we don't have to be stuck in a place we don't want to be anymore, and walking away. You can see that herd going away. Letting go of staying simply because something was important to us and it no longer is. So it's that recognition and recognizing when we outgrow something and realizing that is okay. That is progression. That is what life does. Life comes in cycles, but also life leads us in different paths. And as we grow and outgrow, if you can think of being a child and outgrowing your shoes and needing new shoes, it's exactly like that. We outgrow people, we outgrow situations, we outgrow jobs, we outgrow ourselves to become new versions of ourselves while we carry some of the past along with us. And knowing what we can leave behind is also a greater joy. I just saw those stacking Russian dolls from the baby up to the big. And that's what we do. And, you know, growing the tree rings, we grow around ourselves as we progress in life and as we go along this journey. Release the guilt that can come with outgrowing a person, a situation, belief, or even a version of yourself. And we tend to stay into situations because it's comfortable. Once again, the nervous system loves comfort. It doesn't like feeling like it is having that boat rocked. And there are times when stepping away from something is, you've made the decision to walk away and do it, but that your nervous system kicks up a bit. And it's not really even about not wanting to do it. It's about the fear of repercussion and everything else that is involved about that. So, you know, there's a saying, season, reason, lifetime. Some people come into your life for a season, so they're only here a short amount of time. There could be lessons you need to learn from them and look at yourself using that as a mirror. Some people come in your life for a reason. There's a purpose. They're teaching you something. They're growing. They're a mentor. They're a teacher. They are a coach, something like that. And then there are those that are there for a lifetime. And sometimes even those people cycle in and out, like, say, reconnecting with a childhood friend or a childhood sweetheart, and seeing what blossoms from there. So these people, there are threads in time that are woven there for you, and then they will weave in and out of your life. So, but, you know, knowing that you don't have to have the guilt for that when you walk away is great. Trust the part of you that knows there may be something more meaningful waiting beyond what is familiar. And once again, that is really working with that nervous system, that limbic system, the amygdala, that reptilian part of the brain, pushing your boundaries a bit and letting yourself know that it might not be comfortable, but it's safe. It's safe to move forward. It's safe to move on. Sometimes breaking up with a friendship relationship, if that's something that you need to do, is extremely difficult. It is an actual breakup. It is a grief cycle. But on the other side of that, if you've outgrown that friendship, there is that freedom to know. So in the raven's dream, it sits upon the bare spine of a cow in a barren desert. Although the setting appears to be peaceful, something within the raven remains unsettled. It sees the lush meadow in the distance. That glimpse is enough. Something within the raven knows it's time for a big change. Something letting go doesn't begin because something is terrible. Sometimes it begins with the quiet realization that there is more once you leave your path. That this is no longer where I feel like I belong anymore, and to take that step forward. For Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, the Eight of Cups asks you to trust your emotional truth. You may deeply care about something and still recognize that you've outgrown it. Walking away doesn't erase something that's meant to you. Doesn't especially, and I don't know why I'm on about friendships. I don't know if people are struggling and need to know they need to make the break, and they know that. But you carry all those fun times, all those memories with you. But sometimes you've just outgrown that complex friendship, or the people that no longer resonate with you. And saying is that people either vibrate up to where you're at, or they vibrate out of your life. There's no two ways. And that can be a little bit painful, is how we honor our new path. So the Six of Wands is coming in, letting it grow. Jupiter and Leo, growing confidence in how far you've already come. So you can see all those butterflies there, and it's leading to the path of the crow. Enjoy that path. Enjoy what you've already built for yourself. And as you're walking away, the 8 is about not looking back. But sometimes you can take that quick glimpse and go, yeah, I've come a long way. Allow yourself to recognize your accomplishments. And this isn't about being conceited or arrogant about it. We've all achieved things that we're proud of. And we're taught that pride is one of those 6 deadly sins or whatever. Like, it is not. It's great to have pride in how you look, how you present yourself, and some of the things that you've done. Did you get a college degree that you didn't think you would because you struggled so much? Were you able to get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, and do things you didn't possibly think you could do? Those are things that you can be proud of. So look at those and recognize your accomplishments. Trust that you are moving in the right direction. Once you walk away, you're walking away for a reason. So it's time to go in that direction. Step forward when life invites you into a greater visibility or a leadership role. And this is about stepping out of that line of being a student into teacher. What have you learned that you can now lead others with? And this isn't saying that you can't be a student. There's always room to learn, but sometimes you are being called to step up, and life will be terribly complicated for you if you don't take that path and keep yourself small. It will project you until you actually get that message and understand it. Let yourself feel proud without minimizing what you've already achieved. And that's what I just said a few seconds ago. Like, really be proud of how far you've come on your journey, and look on it in warm eyes and compassionate eyes for the growth that you've taken, the gratitude for the journey itself, the pain, the pleasure, all the way around. If you're still standing and moving forward, congratulations. That's what life is all about. If you're at a standstill in healing, congratulations. You've known to take the time out and do that. So this is congratulate yourself for all of the victories that you have when it comes to your personal development and growth. In the Raven Dreams, it stands within an enormous field of sunflowers and swirling multitude of white moths around it. Together, they lift the raven above the flowers, and suddenly they can see beyond the field. What once existed only as possibility is now visible. Success is no longer a distant idea. It is totally within your reach. And the lariat there is the celebration and that victory that you have come this far. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the Six of Wands encourages you to own your own progress. You don't need to shrink to light. Remain humble, and confidence isn't believing that you are better than everyone else. It's finally believing in yourself, stepping up and believing in you. So the deeper message in with the Raven's Dream today is standing between two landscapes. Behind you is the deserted area, and then you have the field of sunflower. The Eight of Cups has spent enough time trying to make the barren landscape feel like it's home. Perhaps it once was. Perhaps there's a beautiful memory there. Perhaps you invested years in your life standing here trying to make this barrenness into something. But you've changed. And somewhere in the distance, you can see, the greenery, the cows, the new pasture. And the Eight of Cups says you are allowed to leave. The Six of Wands appears among the sunflowers. The raven isn't struggling to climb higher. This isn't a battle. This isn't a struggle. It is being lifted and elevated to this position, supported. Those around you are supporting what you're doing. They're supporting your journey. If they are your true friends and your true family and they want the best for you, they are lifting you the fuck up to the heights that you need to be to grow. So carried upwards, suddenly it can see something it couldn't see from the ground, elevated. It sees possibility, progression, horizon. The Six of Wands whispers, look how far you've come. And perhaps that's the deeper medicine within these two cards today. Sometimes we spend so much time grieving what we are leaving, we forget to look forward to what we are actually becoming. So we question if walking away means that we're failing, if we have failed ourselves, and whether or not we should stay longer and try to work things out, tried harder, given more, work things through. But not every ending is a failure for you. Not every ending is a failure for me. It's just a pivot in a new directions. And some endings are complete evidence of your growth. The Eight of Cups isn't running away. It's moving towards something more meaningful. And the Six of Wands reminds us that there are many days to come to look back at the path you've traveled and finally understand in your heart of hearts why you had to walk away, why you had to leave that situation, how the growth wouldn't have happened if you had stayed where you were. The desert taught you the journey, and the journey strengthened you, but you were never meant to build from there. You're meant to build from the sunflowers ahead, that seed, plant, blossom, fruit. My beautiful sunflowers are doing so well. I'm so happy this year. There's a wider view waiting for you. There's a version of yourself you haven't met yet who's quietly cheering you on. Keep going. So today's message is release what your heart has already outgrown and grow the confidence in the direction of where you're moving. You don't need to know exactly the path before you to take the next steps. Sometimes seeing the green meadow is enough. So what are you holding on to today that once mattered, even though your heart knows it no longer fits on your life and who you're becoming? What are you truly ready to leave behind now? Still in the shadow aspect of the eclipse and the new moon, so great times to really work on this. And if you trusted yourself enough to walk away towards greener meadows, what might you finally have room to grow and to allow into your life? So that is the reading today. And we are going to finish it off with the Dead Inside Me Oracle because it is funny and I love it and it calls you out. So I had my thunderstorm yesterday, so it was nice. I was up in Windsor visiting a friend and we had a really cool thunder and lightning storm there. Drive home was awful. The rain was really bad, but obviously I made it, so that's good. And it's clearing off. Looks like it's going to be another beautiful day, beautiful weekend ahead. So that's your forecast for the day too. So didn't know I was a weather person, but there you go. Canadians and Nova Scotians were famous for telling you what the weather is. Crying in the shower, isolation, breakdown, and vulnerability. And this could be the energy that you feel when you finally realize that this has come, that it's you're going to have to do the hard work and let things go. But, the breakdown and the vulnerability is a good thing to feel because breakdowns come with breakthroughs. So if you need to take that time out and go cry in the shower about the changes, because we all resist change. We don't like it. So if there's something big that you've worked on that you need to change, you might have to spend that time crying in the shower to work things out of your system. And that's okay. If you feel like you do have to cry in the shower, one beautiful way of doing that is to bring a little bit of Epsom salts in with you. Cleanse as that water hits the Epsom salts. There's a cleansing that happens around you as well. So really let this go. Let that breakdown become that breakthrough. Don't shy away from it. Don't see it as a bad thing. See this as what it actually is, and that is cleansing through the water and a growth cycle, giving you that ultimate strength to walk away from what no longer serves you. You've done the hard work. This is the finality of that hard work. You know what needs to be done, and you are finally ready to do it. It comes with some pain, comes with some growth sometimes. So then you step into this and allow yourself to see the greener pasture, the life that's above you. You no longer can nourish yourself from this position. And by walking through and dealing with that grief, you get to rise above everything, see the new horizon, and have the ability to grow and enjoy the fruits of your labor, because the universe will reward you when you finally break these patterns and realize you are worthy and you can walk away from that which no longer serves you. Don't be stuck with the beautiful cow there. Go into the field of life and then rise above. Allow yourself to be lifted by those who support you and carry you forward so that you can see the beauty of your strengths and what you can do, and bask in those accolades. Victory is yours today, my friend. Have a good one. Bye.